Yeah, there you go. Good morning, or good evening, or good day, wherever you happen to be in your day watching this. Very excited to be here with you and some of our SRTLC Planning Committee members. I will let them introduce themselves. Take it away, Andrew.
Hey, y'all, I'm Andrew. I'm from Santa Rosa County, and I've been to SRTLC for 2 years now, and it's been a ton of fun when I've been.
Awesome. Go for it, Jesse.
Hi, my name is Jessie Abercrombie, and I'm from St. Lucie County. This will be my third and final year attending SRTLC and my second as a committee member.
Very nice. Go for it, Spencer.
Hey everybody, my name is Spencer Hewitt. I'm a 4-H agent in Nassau County, and I'm excited to be on the planning committee this year.
Woo-hoo. And my name is Derby Sale, and I've been working with SRTLC, I believe, since 2020, maybe. So you can do the math there. But very excited to continue to bring this opportunity not only to Florida, but to our southern region here in the United States. I believe that covers 13 states. And then we have some territories as well that covers Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but I know there's some territories that our southern region technically covers as well for 4-H. But yeah, excited to be here talking with you guys to dive into a little bit of your experiences with this and also to give some more insight to what happens at SRTLC. And we keep saying SRTLC. Some people might be out there going, what does that mean? It is the Southern Region Team Leadership Conference. And so I'm going to ask Jesse and Andrew first. So Andrew, you said you've been coming for 2 years. Jesse, said you've been coming for 3. And Jesse, especially being on the planning committee for 2 years. So what makes you keep wanting to come back? What makes you want to take that step to be on the leadership committee? And then Jesse, even for 2 years doing it, what makes you keep coming back?
I can go ahead. Honestly, for me, applying for a committee has definitely been a huge responsibility, but also it's so much fun. And being able to be involved with so many other youth from different states, that's something that you really don't get to have the opportunity to do unless you're going to national events. But also being able to do youth adult collaboration as well. It's something that's so much fun, and it's so neat to be able to see it all come together at the end of the year.
Absolutely. Go for it, Andrew. What keeps you coming back?
Well, my first year, I was a bit of a introvert. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I was just wandering around what, trying to figure out what all was going on. And my second year, I really got into it. I tried out to be on the basketball team at the Southern Showdown, which we'll get into later, and just got to forge friendships with people from our state and people from other states. And that prompted me to want to get into the committee side of things and see how I could impact the event with the knowledge that I've gained for the better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's those then sometimes those friends that you only see once a year at SRTLC. But then sometimes if you start going to national events, that's pretty cool too. Especially Ignite being more open. Like our 2 of the trips are typically awards based. But then you have Ignite, and I have heard a lot of fun, like people going and being like, "Oh, I saw my friends from Southern region," and I think I've even heard some stories of when they go off to college and seeing some people from SRTLC. So it's always pretty cool to hear those encounters. So the cool thing about SRTLC, it is not in Florida. So we get to go explore another state. It gets to be a fun little road trip. So Spencer, where is SRTLC at and how do we get there?
Yeah, so SRTLC is in Crossville, Tennessee. It is at a 4-H camp out there, I believe, called Clydesdale. And at that
Clyde
4-H,
York.
Clyde York. My
Put
apologies.
respect
Yeah.
on Clyde York's name, Spencer.
Yes. But it's in Tennessee for sure at a 4-H camp. But Yeah, so we're gonna go up there, bus based. So you guys will ride a bus that has a couple of drop-off locations for sure, Cloverleaf and Gainesville. But as you're registering, we'll talk a little bit more about registration later. But as you're registering, you'll see those different locations there. So your parents don't have to drive you to this one; they just got to drive you to a location to travel with. But SRTLC is really based around the opportunity for youth to have a different experience that they may not have at one of our traditional 4-H events that you might have been to in Florida. It is at a 4-H camp. However, we do more along the lines of some workshops, this career based, and we really focus on youth voice and facilitation aspects of the program. However, it is a unique experience. So you have the opportunity to meet youth across the southern region. And you also have the opportunity to do unique activities that, again, we'll talk about later, but the state engagement with the states and Taste of Florida activities.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like the teasers of, hey, keep listening. There's things still to come. You're still to find out.
But wait, there's more.
So Jesse, Spencer started hitting on a little bit, but obviously one of the things is there's a lot of pride from like what we do as a state and wanting to share that with other states. So tell us a little bit about the Parade of States and the Taste of the South.
So the Parade of States is going to be that first night that you get to SRTLC, and it's kind of when all of the states that are there, they'll have two or three of their youth kind of carry their flags and give a fun fact about their state, maybe like what they do, kind of like just introduce themselves. So that's going to be our parade of states. And then the Taste of the South is when every state that's present brings something that represents your state. I know last year we brought key lime pie, and that was a pretty big hit. And some other states, like Tennessee, will bring moon pies. So it's something that allows you to get a taste of all the states in the southern region.
Yeah, I know there's always some staples. The moon pies, RC Cola, Coca-Cola, usually we get something. So always some staples from the states that you're like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. I think we got Rice Krispies last year. Maybe that was from one of the states that has like the Rice Krispie factory in their state. I'm not going to try to name that one because somebody out there is going to be like, that was wrong.
Yeah, last year for the Parade of States, I had the honor of wearing a yellow tutu and a yellow bob.
Beautiful. And it was wonderful.
It was amazing.
Is that still shoved away somewhere in your closet? Or did that
I
promptly go
lost
to the
the
trash
bob, but
afterward?
I have the tutu.
Okay, fair enough. So if you come, you might see the return of the tutu.
Right?
There are a couple other opportunities to share what share stuff from Florida with other states. One of those is a very individualized thing, is the state swap. And this is more of an item swap. So if you ever hear of national events, there's usually a pin trade. And so there's pins from different states that you can trade around. We didn't want to do exactly that. We wanted to leave it a little bit, that pin piece, a little special for national events. So we just open it up to really any item that you feel like represents Florida, your maybe 4-H project in some way. And we'll have some items from Florida. Actually, our planning committee will design a sticker that all Florida members will get. And so you'll have that to be able to swap around. So if you don't want to bring anything, you just want to use that sticker, go for it. But if you do have something, like some people have made their own like clothespins that people can wear. I've seen people, like if there was a specific rice that was manufactured in their county in the state. I remember one year there's a lot of rice and a lot of hot sauce one year too. So really anything that you can make or you think you want to get a bunch of to trade around with people at SRTLC. There's about 350 to 400 people. You don't have to bring that many items and make sure one person gets every single thing, but bring enough to swap. And so you can get different stuff from different states as well. And then there's going to be a state pride night that we're going to be able to sing camp songs, do line dances. I'm not sure of the third option yet for swap and stuff, but again, the general idea And one of the things a lot of people talk about loving SRTLC, and you've already heard it a little bit here tonight, is it's really cool to know that you're part of something much bigger than just Florida. Like 4-H is done in all these states, and there's some similarities, there's some differences, but it's really cool to see a lot of that come together. So we're trying to create more opportunities to really swap those ideas and make sure somebody can walk home or go home with something new and different, but also, again, that shared sense of connection. So, Andrew, I believe I gave you this next question because I believe you're on the Southern Showdown subcommittee on the planning committee, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you alluded to it a little bit earlier. So tell us about the Southern Showdown.
All right. Well, the Southern Showdown is basically throughout Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of SRTLC. You're going each night. There's going to be different games and event and competitions that we're going to have between teams. So in past years, we've had state versus state teams. This year, we're going to be doing things a little differently. We're going to be having assigned teams from combined states, and those teams will be going against each other in different games, such as basketball, volleyball, line dancing, kickball. One year we had putt-putt golf, but we still have to work out exactly which games we're going to be doing at SRTLC. But we're going to be competing against each other in different teams. We've picked out the different team names, such as I know we had the Vidalia Onions.
That was my favorite.
and other different team names like the Jamestown Jaguars. So different elements of the South being used as team names.
And we'll use Jamestown as a name. We're going to have to fight from Florida and make sure St. Augustine gets in there too. Because somebody in Virginia is going to claim Jamestown was the first spot in colonizing the United States. So I'm going to have to give St. Augustine that recognition as well. So we'll make sure I've learned a lot because I'm from Virginia. And then I also learned that St. Augustine was a thing. I didn't know that growing up. I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't know the historical component to it as well. Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. Keep going.
That's all right. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if you want me to add anything else, Mr. Derby.
No, I think that was great.
Yeah.
I'll give a little insight to what Andrew was saying about some of the names like the Daily Onions or things like that. So one of the opportunities, knowing that we're switching up a little bit from having state versus state and to be having the teams randomized at SRTLC, is that you all, if you're participating in SRTLC, will get the opportunity to vote on those team names. So keep an eye out on SRTLC socials. And if I will make sure that is posted in the description of wherever this video is posted, because I don't know what that is right now. So I don't want to give it to you and lie to you or anything or get you confused. But keep an eye out on the SRTLC Instagram, especially. And there's going to be voting options leading up to SRTLC to help pick the new names of the teams that we're going to have. And then each team will get a team color. So you can still have team pride and still have that at SRTLC if the competitiveness is in you. There's still going to be a big piece of what we do. Another change coming with SRTLC this year comes with the workshops. And so typically those were pre-submitted. And then once you were on site, you got to pick the workshop that you wanted to go to. But this year we're switching up a little bit, and we're not going to have the workshops when we get on site. We are going to work everybody at SRTLC through a process to where you all are going to be able to talk about what you're interested in, what you need to know in the moment. And then you're going to be able to pair up with other people at SRTLC, learn about putting together a workshop, designing one, learning about facilitating it. And then you're going to be able to actually facilitate that the next day. So it's going to be short and sweet, but there's going to be a really cool opportunity to make that happen, and everybody can be involved in that. And so be on the lookout for more information again on that as you sign up for SRTLC and as we get closer, because we are excited to make that happen as well. So one of the things that is always important with SRTLC, but really any 4-H event, is obviously want to keep everybody safe. And especially traveling to a new state can be new. That can be scary for some people, some families. So Spencer, tell us a little bit about what supervision looks like at SRTLC.
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning. So I mentioned that we would be transporting youth on a bus. There's going to be screened adult volunteers that ride along with the youth as they go to SRTLC under supervision of people called bus captains. And those bus captains will be added along the way as they pick up youth. And those bus captains will be in charge of making sure they get on and off the bus to eat lunch and everyone's accounted for to and from the event. When we get to the event, we'll have things like night watch walking around, and then all of the professionals that are going to be there and volunteers that are going to be there, screened adult volunteers that help facilitate the program, or their adult committee members that will be supervising youth as well.
Yeah, and if you're used to Florida camps at all, the cabins at Clyde York are set up a little differently, to where the adult rooms are actually in the middle of the cabin. And so every cabin will have the adults in that space, and those adults have a private bathroom in there. And then the youth rooms are around that. And so there's that supervision in the cabin as well, once we get up there. And so, yeah, again, we are making sure they are safe. We're going to be checking in with them, making sure everybody's where they need to be throughout the event. So, Andrew, this is called the Southern Region Teen Leadership Conference. We've talked about a lot of the fun pieces, obviously, because if you're coming to an event, if you're coming to 4-H, why not have fun? That's always a piece of it. But with that leadership piece in particular, I'm curious how your leadership has improved from being involved in the event.
Well, just getting out of my shell and just interacting with people. I'm more of an introvert, so pushing myself out of my comfort zone and interacting with different workshops and roundtable discussions with others has helped me with communication and teamwork, and actually discussing a couple interstate event group things that never came to be, but it's helped me out extremely well, and it's a ton of fun. So
I'm definitely hearing that confidence piece, and just being able to confidently share your ideas with other people and have that conversation with others without feeling so much in your own shell.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, Jesse, I know I didn't say that I was going to throw this answer to you, but I'm curious now, especially having been on the planning committee before, I'm curious how your leadership has improved.
I definitely say it's improved in like a variety of ways, but mainly being able to deal with different groups of people, kind of, I'd have to say, because a lot of different states have different rules, different programs. So not a lot of us come from similar backgrounds. And I guess being able to connect with a variety of youth, no matter where they're from, that's definitely really helped me, especially at national events like Congress and Ignite. But also being able to take a step back when I get a little bit overwhelmed, and recognizing that like you can't always do everything.
Sure. I hear that. That's really helpful too, as you're going off to college as well. Just that concept of like, okay, I'm going to potentially be in a room with somebody else that coming from a completely different space and different rules than I am, and we still got to live together. And same kind of thing with SRTLC. We're coming from all these different states with all these different things. And how do we have fun together for these 4 days? And so we designed for it for sure from like the planning piece, but still just that individualized, like moment to moment interacting is definitely, I think Jesse put it pretty well. To some, it can be overwhelming, but you can also have those times to kind of pull yourself back and be like, okay, cool. I'm going to take a breath and then I'm going to go back into this. So it's cool to hear you process through that. So Spencer, how can people register for SRTLC?
Yeah, so we have this fancy system called 4-H Online. And and if you look up quite literally Google 4-H Online, it'll come up. And if you're not a 4-H member, you'll make an account through there. And you'll look under the events tab and you'll see a bunch of other cool events you should sign up for as well. But you'll see SRTLC there. If you don't want to look up 4-H Online, you can quite literally just Google SRTLC, Florida 4-H, and it has its own landing page there where you can look more at registration dates and events or things that are coming up as long for SRTLC. So go to that website, click on that link, and register.
Yeah, and I'll make sure those links are posted again wherever this video is posted so you can see that. Registration is going to close Thursday, August 27th. And so whenever you are watching this video, be sure to keep an eye out for that date so you don't miss that opportunity, so we can make sure you get registered. So Jesse, what advice would you give somebody attending for their first time?
Honestly, some advice I'd give for somebody attending their first time is to make the most of everything. And I know some of the things sound a little bit scary, especially being from Florida. That's a long bus trip. Just make the absolute most of it. You're gonna meet a whole variety of people, and some of them will become your absolute best friends. And for going the past 3 years, I've met so many different people, and I've become so close with them. So it's definitely like a treat to be able to get to see them once a year or a couple times a year at different events. But also just enjoying it because it is such a unique event and being able to experience that, it's such a blessing, really. So just make the most of it.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you three for being on this recording with us tonight. I also appreciate whenever, again, you choose to watch this video for you watching. I hope to see you at SRTLC with us this year. Bye, guys.